Hi, this is Sally's Book Club. Tune in daily for curated global reads that satisfy all your literary cravings. Today we're diving into a Gelclazed book from the West, titled Slow Thinking. Subtitled The Art of Kahneman in an Overloaded Era. Authored by Theo Compernoli, INSEAD professor whose thinking course tops campus popularity. The book distills wisdom from his acclaimed classroom teachings.
Ever feel mentally juggled by emails, calls, social feeds, and work tasks, like your brain's stuffed with informational confetti? Yet after endless busy work, critical tasks remain untouched. The core paradox this book addresses.
This guide teaches focused thinking amidst modern multitasking demands. You'll discover how our brains operate and what sabotages mental performance. The author offers 4 actionable strategies to liberate cognitive capacity and boost productivity. First fundamental question: what's the actual mechanics of human thinking? Psychological research identifies 3 cognitive systems: deliberate thinking brain, reflex brain, and archiving brain. These systems collaborate, yet also compete for mental bandwidth. Our intellectual prowess stems from their coordinated dance. Descartes' famous axiom applies here. Cogito ergo sum, I think, therefore I am. Indeed, conscious thought is humanity's crowning achievement. From morning alarms, we strategize commutes, anticipate delays, and plan schedules.
How to handle yesterday's difficult client.
Or ponder vacation spots and dinner venues for tonight's gathering. The sophisticated mental labor belongs to the deliberate thinking brain, energy-intensive and logic-driven. Hence its slow, single-task nature, mental thoroughness, over speed, multitasking fractures. This system guaranteeing subpar results.
Picture this. On the subway, meant to exit next stop, but a client email hijacks your attention completely. But by the time you remember to exit, you've already passed multiple stations.
Now, you might argue, why can we sometimes multitask successfully? Take musicians singing while playing instruments. This demonstrates our second brain system, the reflex brain. The reflex brain operates at lightning speed, triggering instantaneous reactions like unconscious behaviors. It's the most primitive system among the 3. Evolutionarily speaking,
this system enabled our ancestors to flee predators instinctively rather than calculating escape routes consciously. Without this rapid response system, humanity might have perished in evolutionary history.
Thus, the reflex brain remains vital for split-second decision-making. Through deliberate practice, complex tasks can shift from conscious control to automatic reflex, like musicians playing automatically through muscle memory, freeing mental space for singing. This automation allows the thinking brain to focus on higher-order tasks. With routine tasks handled by reflex, our thinking brain gains capacity for critical problem solving. Now, to the archiving brain. Strategic mental breaks boost productivity. This reveals the symbiotic relationship between thinking brain and archiving brain. The archiving brain organizes and stores daily informational inputs. It activates during mental downtime, consolidating memories and insights. Strategic breaks aren't procrastination. They optimize cognitive performance. Ever notice solutions emerge during coffee breaks after intense focus? When stuck on problems, stepping away often brings breakthrough insights. We've covered how the thinking brain operates. Now let's examine what constrains our cognitive performance. The culprits: constant connectivity, multitasking, chronic stress, and sleep deprivation. First factor: perpetual online status. Digital age connectivity boosts productivity, but at a hidden cost.
Our modern curse turning anytime access into non-stop engagement. We've become chained to glowing rectangles, perpetually interruptible. Information overload cripples processing capacity and deep thinking.
30–90% of this digital influx is irrelevant mental clutter.
This cognitive junk crowds out meaningful thought processes. Many employers enforce this harmful always-on culture. Some mandate 15-minute email response, Windows productivity theater, constant task, switching fragments focus irreparably. High email volume creates cognitive Swiss cheese. Zero uninterrupted time for deep work persists.
This explains systemic organizational inefficiency.
Our own addiction fuels this always-on mentality.
Self-delusion. Constant connectivity improves product.
Reality. Sampled users work 6 extra weekly hours with diminished returns. Decision fatigue erodes willpower and increases procrastination. Because you'll do urgent but trivial tasks to avoid deep thinking work.
Now let's analyze the second factor: multitasking. UCLA researcher Gloria Mark found employees average 11 minutes of uninterrupted focus per task.
These 11 minutes get fragmented into 3-minute microtasks.
Each interruption requires 25 minutes for refocusing.
Interruptions cascade like dominoes. 40% chance workers abandon original tasks completely. Multitasking essentially forces task abandonment.
Remember, a thinking brain handles single tasks exclusively. So how does brain handle task overload? It uses temporary memory buffers for task switching with strict capacity limits.
Full buffers require mental purge for new inputs.
Imagine drafting report when phone interrupts.
Boss assigns urgent task mid-call. Post-call mental scramble begins.
Develop solution, submit for approval. Awaiting feedback, return to original work. Then pivot back when response arrives.
Multitasking fragments work into disconnected chunks, requiring constant context switching.
You might think, what's wrong with switching? Total time spent should be same, right?
If you believe this, you're trapped in cognitive illusion.
Truth. Multitasking makes each task take longer than sequential processing.
Multitasking forces constant task switching and recovery periods between assignments.
This downtime allows archiving brain to consolidate crucial information. More complex and disparate tasks require longer mental reset periods.
Team multitasking amplifies these cognitive costs exponentially.
Example: a 30-hour team task balloons into 70 subtasks through multitasking.
Dependencies create cascading delays across team members. Output delays force colleagues into reactive work patterns. Entire teams get trapped in perpetual context switching. Project timelines become completely unpredictable. Information loss occurs during mental gear shifting. The brain struggles, moving data between memory systems during switches. Critical insights get lost in transitional gaps. This cognitive overload stifles creative thinking.
Example: divided attention during conversations damages relationships.
Phone use while driving exemplifies dangerous multitasking. Automatic driving skills don't replace active situational awareness. Real-time hazard detection requires full cognitive engagement.
Studies show hands-free calls still slow reaction times by 40%.
Auditory visual attention competition compromises safety. Chronic stress and sleep deprivation compound these issues.
Let's first define low-level chronic stress. Humans handle acute stress well, but chronic pressure becomes toxic over time. Like a bow, constant tension damages its integrity. Unrelaxed. After use, the bow deteriorates faster. Similarly, humans need stress recovery cycles for optimal function. Post-stress recovery allows metabolic clearance of stress hormones.
Chronic tension leads to hypertension, immune suppression, and cardiovascular strain, exactly what constant connectivity creates.
Researchers conducted an experiment. Office workers stopped multitasking and email monitoring. Within 5 days, normalized heart rates emerged.
Sustained low-grade stress proves particularly damaging without recovery periods.
Sleep's importance needs little explanation. Quality sleep dramatically impacts cognitive performance.
Sleep deprivation directly impairs next-day productivity.
Our circadian rhythm governs biological processes with military precision. This master clock coordinates cellular operations system-wide, regulating energy, metabolism, thermoregulation, and neuroendocrine functions.
Sleep loss degrades focus, creativity, judgment, and emotional regulation.
Sleep isn't downtime. It's active neurological maintenance. Neural pruning and memory consolidation occur during sleep cycles.
Hippocampal neurogenesis suffers under sleep deprivation. Chronic sleep loss impairs long-term memory formation. Sleep deprivation impairs emotional regulation.
Well-rested brains modulate reflex responses through prefrontal control.
Sleep-deprived individuals show amplified emotional reactivity.
Speed is cognition's greatest adversary. Prioritize creative deliberation. 4 strategies. 1. All-12 thinking. Schedule uninterrupted, deep work sessions. Xiaomi founder Lei Jun's mantra: focus, excellence, reputation, speed, focus first.
Less is more philosophy. Concentrated effort yields exponential results.
Ruthlessly eliminate non-essential distractions. The world functions without your input. Prioritize important, non-urgent tasks. Reject urgent, unimportant demands.
All died. Thinking dramatically. Boost cognitive performance and output quality.
Identify peak mental performance windows for critical thinking tasks. Nightly 10-minute planning primes. Archiving brain for next day efficiency. 2. Batch processing cluster. Similar tasks to minimize cognitive switching. Group-related activities batch trivial tasks. Schedule processing blocks with recovery breaks.
3. Sleep recovery. Daytime digital overload disrupts information consolidation.
Archiving brain requires sleep cycles for optimal memory organization.
8. Sleep enhances problem solving 200% plus memory retention and creativity.
Morning insights often emerge from nocturnal neural processing. Sleep hygiene tips. Consistent schedule. Daylight exposure. Avoid weekend oversleeping. Physical activity balances mental fatigue for better sleep quality. Digital curfew. Eliminate screen exposure 60 minutes before bedtime.
4. Stress management. Chronic low-grade stress surpasses acute stress dangers.
Strategic task management reduces stress. When overwhelmed, prioritize resource allocation. Your greatest resource being yourself. Stress tolerance resembles archery. Bowl flexibility determines range. Surrogates play a partial role, but proactive training enhances capacity.
Reframe stress mindset. Shift it from "I can't handle this" to "challenging but manageable." To transform pressure into motivation. Behavior change requires attitude shift first. Multitasking adherence nullifies all techniques.
3 reinforcement methods. 1. Physical word-pace zoning. 2. Reward. Punishment system. 3. Visual reminders, e.g., steering wheel warnings. Summary. Triune brain system. Operation. 4. Cognitive constraints. 4 efficiency strategies.
Focus is the antidote to information overload. Less but better. Conclusion of slow thinking, with keynotes below audio.